All right, so here are a few principles for successful design. These are principles. We'll get to the specifics in a moment. Write this down. Good design should be invisible. It should amplify the message, never distract from it. No one gets this. And yet it's so easy to understand when you just think about it. You don't want your prospects looking at your ad and saying, look at how beautiful that ad is. If they're looking at your ad and saying, oh my God, look at how beautiful that ad is, you failed because you distracted them from the message. What you want them to do is look at your ad and then pick up the phone and call you and say, I have my credit card in my hand and I want to buy the thing you're selling. Or you want them to go to your website. Or if they're on your website, you want them to enter their credit card number and give you money in exchange for what you're selling. Getting fancy with design, the desktop publishing revolution, it's great for marketers who know what they're doing because everyone's just going crazy with all this stuff, making horrible designs, and now they can just sit at their computer and entertain the hell out of themselves. So the design should be invisible and it should amplify the main message. The only thing the prospect should see is the message, and the design should help do that. It's an amplifier. Write these down. Number one, dominant visual element. You need a dominant visual element. One dominant visual element. Not 50, not 2, not 7. 1. Where does my eye go first? Rolls-Royce ad? Where did your eye go? Right to the picture. Boom. Dominant. By far the dominant visual element. Not by a little bit. Think about a lot of the examples that we looked at today. There's like 10 things competing on the page. I don't know where to go. Even if there are 2, I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. One dominant visual element. Number 2, clear visual hierarchy. So my eye knows where to go first, knows where to go second, knows where to go third. Visual hierarchy. If I stood back far enough that I couldn't make out the words or the picture, would my eye still know where to go first? You'll notice in that ad, big picture, headline. Headline, if the picture was taken away, the headline would still be, no, if the picture were taken away, the headline would take over as the dominant visual element clearly. Does that make sense? Picture gone, still a great ad. Next, take the headline off, subhead above those columns. Next, take the subhead off, boom, we start in the upper left corner. Is this all making sense? Clear visual hierarchy. Number 3, follow natural reading gravity. Reading gravity. And reading gravity is the concept that the eye likes to move from top to bottom on the page and from left to right. That's the way we've been trained to read. Top to bottom, left to right. So follow natural reading gravity. Don't put a big element down here and then one over here and one over here, and then they've got to look all around and they don't know where to go. Dominant visual element here, next one here, next one here. And then finally, when in doubt, keep it simple. Simplify, strip stuff out, streamline it, dumb it down. Make it as simple as you possibly can. As Einstein said, make everything as simple as possible, no simpler. Make it as simple as you can to get your message across. So some of the things we talked about in that ad, you can borrow design and layout ideas, and I recommend that you borrow them from editorial publications. Borrow your design cues from top editorial publications, newspapers, magazines. Look at what the leaders are doing. They're the professionals. Right? A company like Cosmopolitan Magazine or the New York Times or USA Today, they've been laying stuff out and figuring out what works for decades. They've created thousands or tens of thousands or who knows, hundreds of thousands of layouts. They know what works. That's what works to amplify the message. Follow that stuff. Here are a couple of the things that they do. Bold headlines. Big, bold headlines. Many or most ads don't even have a headline. Subheadlines. Peppered throughout your copy. Some newspapers use initial drop caps, a big capital letter at the beginning of a paragraph. Increases readership. Bulleted lists. They draw the eye. They're interesting. They help separate a group of facts. For any blocks of text, narrow columns. Why do we use narrow columns? Because it's easier to read narrow columns. If you've got a wide column, you've got to read it, and then you've got to slowly kind of, okay, where did I start? Narrow column, it's easy to switch back and forth. Newspapers use columns that are 30 to 45 characters wide. Sometimes this is a little difficult on the internet because you want to put a lot of copy, and if you put little columns, then what do you have, like 4 little columns, and then you jump down to the next and you scroll down, and it's a little weird. Typically, what I do is I'll make a much narrower column than usual, and it'll be very long. You'll have to scroll, but it's easy to read. It's one of the games we have to play. If you have a picture, use a caption. Because people look at pictures first, and then they go to the caption that's underneath it. And if there's no caption, you've wasted an opportunity to communicate. Call-outs, a line pointing to the thing and pointing to a feature. Now, don't pay attention to the words. What they say is irrelevant. That's not what we're paying attention to now. Does this look like something that's trying to sell me something, or does it look like something that's trying to offer me valuable information that I might be interested in? Does this look intimidating to you? Do you have any question about where to start, where to go from there? No? It's very boring, very clear, very simple. This is the kind of layout that I look at and I think, that's ingenious. They figured out how to get that other column over there on the right, and they did it in a way that's not weird. For someone that's into design, they look at this and they go, oh, that's really interesting, because you kept all the rules, and yet you didn't make the picture go all the way across, so you got that whole, another 40% worth of text over there. That's cool the way you did that. That's an innovative, interesting layout if you're thinking about delivering information to someone, and you're not trying to show off, and you're not trying to impress them, and you're not trying to distract them with your cool logo and all that stuff. You just want to get your message across to them. Notice you immediately go to the picture, you go right to the headline, bang, you know where to start. Very simple. Okay, good. Thank you.